Questions?
Bill, what was it about, was it Iowa State's defense that got the best of you, or was it just too many mistakes on your guys' parts?
I'd say it's both. I mean, we were awful, but they were good. And they are much improved, I think, defensively. I really think that, I can't speak for Steve or his staff, but I think there's some key additions that bring an element of that, to the table. Shayhawk, as good as he was offensively, I would think, coming from where he came from, would definitely provide an attitude or a presence. But I don't know that for a fact. I'm just looking at it from the outside looking in. But I think they're really good. Defensively, they're long, and our advantage obviously would be to play through our bigs offensively, and that didn't have a chance to materialize at all. So, but give them credit. They manhandled us.
Well, just overall, what do you think of their talent?
I was talking to our guys. I mean, that's one thing that I would say. I said this the other day. It's one of the few things I actually said after I thought about it that actually made sense. In that they don't have McDonald's All-Americans like some schools are able to recruit. So their guys don't get the same national publicity going into a season. And then by the time they've been at a place for, and there's multiple teams in our league that do this, by the time they've been at a place for a year or two, they end up being every bit as good as the heralded guys going to their respective schools. Those guards, Babb, obviously Halliburton and Wigginton and Shayhawk, those four guards can play for anybody in the country. Anybody. They're part of the rotation for the best teams in the country. So I love their talent level. And then obviously Gordon Tucker is he's a smaller Dedrick Lawson in a lot of ways. And then the big kid in the middle had a great game. I mean, we didn't take advantage of him at all with Dedrick on the post. So I think their talent level is really good, and they're young. I mean, what an exciting time to be a fan, just knowing that these kids are all so young. At least the majority of them.
You guys come into the game knowing that Shayhawk leads the conference in scoring. How well did your guys understand, stick to, and execute scouting report?
Well, the first half we were behind, but it wasn't our defense. Their best offense was our offense. So a lot of times you get screwed up where your offense creates disadvantages for you defensively. But I actually thought, for the vast majority of the first half, we guarded them really well. And then I think we guarded them all the second half. And I don't know how many Shayhawk had at halftime. What do you have, 10 or something like that? Or what was it he had at halftime? But, he was obviously, the best offensive player on the floor in the second half.
Bill, is this the sort of game that in the past, recent past, of course, Devontae or Frank, that their presence could flip it a little, or at least stabilize it?
We played like crap a lot up here. And somehow we hang around at the 10-minute mark and veterans figure out a way. There was none of that today. And as young as our guards are, and this includes even with Gerald, we played very, very, very immature today. And we didn't play selfish as much as we played, how's the correct way to put this? We were, I guess it is selfish, but not from a basketball standpoint. It's from everybody went into their own little cocoon when things were going poorly, as opposed to, galvanizing a group. And some of our best wins that you guys remember West Virginia last year. We were awful at West Virginia for 30 minutes, awful. And those old kids just kind of hang around, and a 14-point deficit turns into a win. Well, that never had a chance to materialize today because Iowa State was better than us, but also because we didn't have the leadership yet that needs to develop so we can be in situations like this and actually perform better.
What was key point of emphasis, the yet. How do you, you've gone through this many times, how do you see cultivating that? Where's it come from?
That's what I actually talked to our guys in the locker room a while about. I don't really know how you could, it'd be nice if anybody were to be able to step up, but in my experience, is it needs to be somebody that's a guard. It needs to be somebody like Bab, or somebody that has been around, that can, basically, take the heat, can send coach's message into them, and we don't have anybody that's an extension of that yet. So right now, I don't know how it's going to play out and how we're going to get better at that. But obviously, we're going to be in situations every time you play on the road where you need that, and we didn't have it today.
Coach,
But that even if we had them, they still controlled the game.
How big of a curveball was Udoka's absence, and are you hopeful it's a one-game thing?
Well, I had no idea that this was going to happen till I got on the bus this morning, so to come over here to shoot. So, yeah, the thing about it is, Doak broke his hand his freshman year, and it cost him his season. It was his left wrist, but this is his right, and he didn't fall on it. He didn't do anything like that, but he did get a hit in practice, and I think that the X-ray and the doctors looking at it, hand specialists looking at it, felt comfortable with where it was, and said, Doak, it's going to be sore. You sprained your wrist, or you bruised your wrist. But still, I think in Doak's mind, which I actually kind of don't disagree, and the way we played today was probably better that he didn't play, is to get an MRI just to make sure we're square. So, it could be a one-game deal, or it could be a season-ending deal. But there's no indications that it will be the latter, based on the early diagnosis.
Coach, all the attention they paid to Dietrich today, was there a specific aspect or something that he especially struggled with?
Yeah, we struggled getting the ball to him in tight. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we really struggled with passing and dribbling and shooting. And that to me was probably the key reason why that all of our individuals didn't look real good offensively.
19 points from Quentin tonight, and based on what he did against Oklahoma as well. Are you pleased with what he's done this week?
Yeah, I mean, guys, let's not get carried away. Every team that lost today had a leading scorer. Okay, so even though I'm happy that he saw the ball go in the hole, I'm not leaving out of here thinking, that we're turning the corner. Bad teams have leading scores. And today we were a bad team when we had a leading score. Although I was happy that the ball went down, but still though, that there was nothing about his performance that would say yes, because I don't feel that about anybody right now.
Were you able to evaluate effort versus execution?
I actually thought, now I gotta watch, well, I don't know if I will or not, but I would say that our effort wasn't bad the first half. I thought we tried pretty hard. I thought when it got unraveled in the second half, I thought we lost all composure and didn't compete as hard.
How much did the atmosphere play into that, maybe with some of the younger guys experiencing this?
You know what? The crowd was great, especially with students not being here. I don't know how many students were here, but the crowd's great. It always is when we come up here. But I don't know that it definitely played a role. Don't get me wrong, it played a role. But I'm not sure that was the determining factor. When you have a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1, it turns into a 2-on-1 for the other team. Those usually aren't caused by crowds, and certainly we had a couple of those.
Especially
The first 10 possessions were kind of shaky. How did you guys stabilize after that?
I watched the game the other day when we played here last year. We were awful. And somehow or another, we hang around in the first half and go in with the lead at halftime. That's kind of the way it was today. We were awful. And still yet, we made them play probably as bad as we played, which is what you have to do if you don't score easily. And certainly, the first half we did that. The second half, the law of percentages played out, and we continued to play at the same rate, and they just elevated theirs. So, but I don't know that we did anything great the first half, other than the fact that up until the last 2.5 minutes or whatever, we controlled the first half, and then we let it get away from us the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Couple more guys. Especially with Udoka out today, did you kind of feel like you needed Dietrich to take over? Doesn't he have that in him?
I thought Dietrich was going to have to get 25 today, for us to have a good shot. But I actually thought he could, and usually when when we needed him to step up and put up numbers, he has, you know, so whether it be the Arizona State game or whatever. But, you know, today wasn't, we got the ball to him, not as much as we'd like, but he had some easy opportunities early and came away empty, and it wasn't our day, but it certainly, you know, it wasn't his day either. He's had a lot of good games for us, but today he struggled a little bit.
Bill, you had a long message to your team, I guess, in the locker room. Could you share what you told them?
No.
I mean,
I talked to my team, you know, just like Steve talked to his team, but the one thing is it's one game, but now the sky's falling. Well, it's an 18-game season, you know, and the sky's not falling, even though we sucked, and we got to correct some stuff, and the thing that is good about getting beat rather than being edged, I mean, we were beat today, is the fact that it's very evident that we have deficiencies and they need to be worked. Nobody's gonna leave out of here thinking, yeah, you know, hey, it wasn't that bad. I mean, everybody's gonna leave out of here knowing how bad it actually was, and sometimes that's not an awful thing to get your team's attention, at least in my experiences in the past. So we've had many games, unfortunately, like this over time. Not, I shouldn't say many, but one a year, let's say, and you know, we got this one hopefully out of the way early in the year, so that means the rest of the season should be smooth sailing.
all right.
So, thanks.